Hi guys, welcome to Big Laws Official. So April 1st, the World's Strongest Man Facebook page announced that World's Strongest Man is going to take place in Bradenton in Florida on the West Coast. And I wanted to wait a few days and just make sure that it was for real because I'm meant to have qualified by winning the North American Giants Live last year, which is one of the qualifying routes for World's Strongest Man, and obviously hadn't heard anything myself. So as it stands, I think all we know is the location. We don't even know the hotel yet. We don't know the amount of guys competing. The dates June 13th to the 16th, which is a much shorter format than normal. Usually, World's Strongest Man, the athletes are there for about 10 days, and you have 4 days of heats, and then a few days in between, and then a 2 day final. So, with these dates being announced, it's a little bit different to normal, which kind of leads me to think that they're changing up the format a little bit. Whether they're going to have less athletes there will remain to wait and see. Hopefully, I'll find out more information and let you guys know once this weekend's over. Obviously, I'm up at Europe's Strongest Man this weekend, and we'll hopefully find out a little bit more. I was checking my emails to just see. Normally, kind of about 2 months is probably standard for World's Strongest Man. They're in terms of organisation with competitions, it's probably the least organised in terms of knowing events and knowing what's happening in advance. Giants Live are much better at that. Ultimate Strongman, all those other big shows, we kind of know well in advance. We get told the events. World's Strongest Man, I've been to Worlds and turned up at Worlds, and they've changed the events when I got there. Nature of the beast with the sport, especially in the group format. If someone gets injured, they might change groups around. A lot of the things with World's Strongest Man, it's all about the location. So often they'll kind of come up with events, but then they'll go and look at the locations and decide if it's feasible to do the events in these certain places. So things do change, and event changes don't bother me too much. I've been competing a long time, and I try and be ready for everything. Obviously, it's nice to know the events, and if you can mimic the training to be as specific as possible for events, it makes a big difference. But I'm from the days of when I started Strongman, you just turned up and got on with it. Now everyone wants to know exact diameter, height, and everything. I'm still kind of a bit more laid back about that, but maybe I should be a bit more anal and try and make sure I know exactly what the events are. But I try not to stress about those things because often you find the guys that do stress about it, they kind of burn up negative energy and waste energy and don't focus on what they can control rather than the uncontrollable. So, like I said, the normal qualifying route for World's Strongest Man, normally they'll invite the 10 guys from the final the year before, and then the top three from each of the Giants Live shows. So the Giants Live shows that have happened since last year's World's Strongest Man are the North American Open, the World Tour Finals in Manchester, the British Championships just earlier this year, and obviously we've got Europe's this weekend as well, which should be a qualifier as well. And then World's Strongest Man announced for June. Got about 2 months then to train for that. So it would be nice to find out exact location, exact kind of events, etc. Once I know, I'll kind of let you guys know. Normally the process, once we kind of get emailed that we're invited, then we have to go through the medical process. So I'll be getting medicals done with my local doctor. You have to have medicals done as well when you get to World's Strongest Man. This is something a lot of guys don't know about Worlds. It's a little bit different to all the other shows. That they want to make sure all the athletes. It's such a big TV show. They want to make sure all the guys are fit enough to compete. You have blood tests done, ECGs, full physicals from your doctors. All sorts really. So it's good, and I actually enjoy that as kind of screening process. It's kind of been good to check my health every year. I get bloods done twice a year. If I'll talk to my doctor, and if he allows it, I may even let you guys come in and see kind of the whole process of the medical. So if you'd be interested in that, comment down below and let us know. But all I can tell you really today is what you guys know. World's Strongest Man announced the dates, 13th of June till the 16th, so that's 4 days. Very different to the last kind of 10, 15 years of World's Strongest Man. So I think we've all got to expect some changes, whether it's going to be I've said for a few years I'd love to see World's Strongest Man run a little bit like the CrossFit Games, where you have all the guys going at it on every event against each other, and really over more events as well. So rather than just like a 6 event final, maybe have 10 or 12 events and all the guys competing and really see who is the best all-round athlete. I'd love to see that. Keep my fingers crossed that it is something like that. But until I know more, I'm kind of, I know as much as you guys do. So that's all I've got for today. If you have any questions about World's Strongest Man that I could answer, maybe we could do a Q&A on World's Strongest Man, comment below, because it is very, very different to all the other shows that we do. The one-day shows are nice and simple. They're the best shows to come and watch, if I'm absolutely honest with you. But, being in Florida, I think it would be quite a cool place to go. And the good thing with World's Strongest Man is you don't have to pay to come and watch. The only thing is, I will say this for anyone that wants to come to World's Strongest Man and you've been to one of the normal one-day shows, there is an awful lot of waiting around. It's not like once we start we get going. At World's Strongest Man I've been told to be ready to do an event at 10 o'clock in the morning. I think first year I took Liz to World's Strongest Man with me, I was told we were going to do the yoke at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I think we ended up doing about 3 p.m. It kept getting pushed back. And a lot of the guys mentally find that hard. You get yourself up for it, and then to be told, oh no, it's going to be in an hour, and then again, it's going to be in an hour. That can be quite hard mentally more than physically. And World's Strongest Man, although it's physically demanding and tough, the mental side of it's probably harder than any other show. But if you have any questions about World's Strongest Man, comment below, I'll answer them. And hopefully on the next video about Worlds, I'll be able to tell you a lot more information and keep you guys up to date. But that's it for today. Keep liking, sharing the channel and subscribing to the channel. It's growing really, really well at the moment. So thank you all to the new subscribers and obviously, everyone from before. The support is huge, and the bigger we can get this, the more quality information I can bring to you and the more kind of quality videos we can get. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.